Hello, good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. For those of you who have never caught me live before, my name is Jewel and I am a grateful recovering addict. I will celebrate 9 years clean this August. And I'm going to go live with my brother-in-law Joe as soon as Joe gets on. There he is. We're going to read the gist for today while I'm waiting for it to add him. I just want to let this know we do have a Breaking the Chains community support group that we started. We also have a Breaking the Chains YouTube channel that we started that has all of our videos on there, and all that good stuff. So, hey, Joe.
What's up?
Oh, nothing. So, I had to put my bathing suit on, Joe. Can you see my son?
Yeah, you got burnt.
Yeah, we all did. All of us but Russell. So,
I've already been there and done that.
well, and it was so dumb because remember I made a comment to you about wearing a black shirt at the beach? I wore a
Yeah.
black dress to the beach, and I sat in the black dress until we got in the water. So I didn't do myself any good. So okay, so I know you're pressed for time. So we're gonna read from the gist for today. Symptoms of a
Yep.
spiritual awakening. The steps lead to an awakening of a spiritual nature. This awakening is evidenced by changes in our lives. Basic text, page 49. We know how to recognize the disease of addiction. Its symptoms are indisputable. Besides an uncontrollable appetite for drugs, those suffering exhibit self-centered, self-seeking behavior. When our addiction was at its peak of activity, we were obviously in a great deal of pain. We relentlessly judged ourselves and others and spent most of our time worrying or trying to control outcomes. Just as the disease of addiction is evidenced by definite symptoms, so is a spiritual awakening made manifest by certain obvious signs in a recovering addict. We may observe a tendency to think and act spontaneously, a loss of interest in judging or interpreting the actions of anyone else, an unmistakable ability to enjoy each moment, and frequent attacks of smiling. If we see someone exhibiting symptoms of a spiritual awakening, we should be aware that such awakenings are contagious. Our best course of action is to get close to these people. As we begin having frequent, overwhelming episodes of gratitude and increased receptiveness to the love extended by our fellow members, and an uncontrollable urge to return this love, we'll realize that we too have had a spiritual awakening. Just for today, my strongest desire is to have a spiritual awakening. I will watch for its symptoms and rejoice when I discover them.
Okay, so I'm gonna answer this question real quick. Lori, you click as if you were going to comment, and you'll see a section below it, and it says
You
go
made the
live.
post.
Click on
It should
that,
be the post.
write a little short topic, and then click go live, and that's all you gotta do. But you gotta make sure you got good connection wherever you are. If not, it'll fuck up. So
Yeah.
that's that.
I think a lot of people make it more complicated than what it really is because it's really not complicated.
I mean, it can be. I know a lot of times I'll make a video and won't notice, and my mouth does not match what I'm saying. So good luck on your quality.
So, let me see. I don't have a whole lot to say about this one because I guess I have spiritual awakenings and I just don't realize that's what they are. Um, but a lot of times it'll be things that remind me of your mom or little things that make me think she's around. Maybe I'm not getting it.
I don't know. I guess it just depends on what you look at, like what type of person you are. Some people, they're all about God. Some people are a little more spiritual, where they're just spiritual without God or without religion. And there's other people um, who deal with energy. I'm an energy type person.
Hmm.
Not to say that I don't believe in God, because I do. Not to say that I'm not spiritual, because I am. But I just want to explain something. So to me, God and spirituality, to me, it's almost like if God was at the top tier, spirituality's at the next tier, and then energy's at the tier after that. And I feel
Hmm.
like with energy, I feel like that's where the real work is coming from. You know,
Right.
I feel like the energy part is like that's you doing the footwork. That's you doing the soldier work. That's you actually setting your intentions and putting good energy out there into the world. And to me, I feel like if you start with that, it'll open up your spirituality a little more, and it'll make you a little more understanding about how the universe works and how the world works. Um, some people get mad about it. Some people are like, some people feel like, they don't like when people say energy because they feel like it's being dismissive to God, but it's really not, because it's almost the same thing as when you set out to pray. You pray for strength, you pray for courage, you pray for positive things, you pray for understanding. And but then after you pray, you have to do work. You have to go out and do something.
Right.
um Mary says, I do not need your energy. Okay, I don't know what that means, but
No, no, I think it says I do. I need your energy. Not don't. It says
you
do.
need the energy.
Hmm.
Well, you need to create your own energy. So like I was telling people when I
Well,
was
you
on a
can
video.
feed. Well, I believe that you can feed off of other people's energy.
Yeah, you can, but that like goes back to like people, places, and things. But how you become like self-made in your energy, I feel like what you do is you just take it like step by step. So you start with like positive speech. That's like to me the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
Watch what you say about other people. Watch what you say about yourself.
Yeah.
It's so easy to just like, for some reason, it's so easy. Like negativity is almost like a magnet. You could see something and immediately become judgy, or start to have all these preconceived notions. And I used to be like that. You'd be out and about with your boys or whatever, and you'll walk past another group of dudes. You'd be like, "Oh, look at these punk ass motherfuckers over here." You know what I mean? That's negative energy. You're feeding negative energy. Um, and then someday somebody might catch you by yourself and have that same type of energy with you, and you might pay for it. So,
Right.
it's like you can do the same thing with positive energy. You go out, smile at people, speak to people, say hi to people. Um, or if you're not a socialized, you're not a social type person, just practice saying good things in your head. Practice saying good things about you, because it's all going to start with you. Like I said, I've told people before, write a list down every once in a while about things you like about yourself.
Yeah.
Um, and that's a good way to start. I would start there, Mary, if that's what you want to do.
She said I need energy. I have a 2-year-old that runs my energy down. LOL.
Yeah, like real energy. Yeah, and then you're
And
all like,
I have always said that kids literally suck the energy out of you. They suck the life out of you,
but see, it's
especially.
like it's like spiraling back and going backwards to what I said about I talk a lot about being understanding, and I'll find myself getting frustrated with one of the kids, and um I
How could
just
you get frustrated with the baby? She's like 4 days old, five
well, I'm
days
not
old.
well, I mean, I don't know. She likes to bust her hands out of the swaddle, and then she starts crying. So
I heard
that's
that
an
she's a dreamer.
she's an escape artist. We put her in the swaddle, and she finds a way to break out of it every time.
Remember
So
Russell used to do that too. It's so
so
funny.
anyway, so I try to be understanding. I'm like, they're just a kid. If they're crying, it's probably because something's wrong. They can't
Right.
communicate like we can. You know what I mean? So I try to just take a deep breath, calm down, and think about how much I love this person, how much I love this kid. And it helps. But to get more into recovery, like a spiritual awakening can be something like, um, and I'm gonna get to Paul in a minute. Paul Jensen. I'm gonna get to you in a minute. Um, but to me, like, you can have a spiritual awakening. Like, let's say you got into an accident or something, and um you don't think nothing of it. You come out of the accident, you know, unharmed, and looking back on it, you look at your car, you look at the situation, and you realize how close you came to death, or how, um, you know, how much of a blow that could have been on you, or how much you just kind of took a dance with something that was out of your control. That can be a spiritual awakening. Like that's something that can slow you down and make you realize, like, you know, life is short, and it might make you move a different type of way. It might make you think differently about what you need to do moving forward, and what you need to do about your future, and how serious you need to take things. A spiritual awakening can be, um, it can be a dream. It can be anything, you know. And that's why for this topic, I try to talk about the energy aspect, because energy is something that is, I can actually tell you what to do. I can't tell you how to be spiritual. You
Right.
understand? I can't tell you how to believe in God. I'm not a preacher, and I won't pretend to be one. Um, Butterflies and Songs, I like that one. That's a good one. You you feel like you see this like same type of butterfly all the time out of the blue, and it's the only one around. I like that. Or a song, you know, a song could hit you in a certain place and make you like have all these thoughts that you never had before. I'm a big music person too, so I understand. Um, or it's just like speaks to you directly, and you're like, man, it's crazy. This person in this song has no clue who the fuck I am, and they're speaking. I feel like they're speaking directly to me. Um, but that just goes to show you, a lot of us we're all a lot more alike than we are different. Um, we all go through the same base core of things. You know, we all go through pain, sadness, happiness, depression, heartache, loss, love, gain, money, everything. We all go through a lot of the same things. Might be different amounts, might be at different times, but we all pretty much experience the same things. Um, all right, so I want to get to Paul. I gotta go back. So Paul, you had 220 days sober, and I'm imagining you said you relapsed 4 days ago. Your son's mom passed away. She OD'd in your arms. Okay, so you went through a traumatic, you know, you went through something that was, I don't know, probably took everything out of you. And but there was two ways you could have played that scenario. You could have played it where that could be me, a spiritual awakening, like I'm on the right track. This could be me.
Yeah.
That was probably one of those spiritual awakenings that we're talking about right now, but you went the other way. Um, not not a big deal that you went the other way. It happens. We're all human. Um, we all get weak at times. Nobody's gonna be perfect. We're in recovery. Recovery means an ongoing process. Recovery doesn't mean cure.
Right.
A lot of people get it twisted. A lot of people I see, they like to argue about recovery being a part of uh addiction, relapse being a part of recovery. And why the fuck are we arguing? If somebody
Right.
relapses, they relapse. Who cares if it's a part of it or not? It clearly is for them.
Right. Well,
You
and
know what
I've
I'm
always
saying?
looked at recovery in terms of kind of like remission. You know, like when people have cancer and they go into remission, like they're fine, and they may be fine for 6 months. They may be fine for 6 years. They may be fine for 60 years. It may never come back. And that's how I've always looked at recovery. Like recovery is like going into remission from your addiction. That's tough. That's really tough.
And Paul, you know how the story goes. It's hard to be in a relationship with another recovering addict, or an addict, period. Um, but I would like to think that it's probably more common than it's not, because that's who you're around, that's your environment. When you get into recovery, you're around people trying to recover. So really wish people would stop fucking texting me while I'm doing a video. Um, but yeah, so whoever invented that you could love or like text messages now, I fucking want to strangle them.
Ooh, because your wife like makes an emoji for every message.
So anyway, so what I would say to you, Paul, is you need to take I would take some time, like really slow down, do some reflection. Um think about think about first of all, number one, think about you. Think about your life. Find your will to live. And then number two, think about your son.
He needs you
You're it.
now more than ever. Yeah.
You're it. You're it for him. And think about not just do you want him to have a father, but think about the quality of father that you want him to have. What's our group called? Breaking the Chains. It's up to you. It's not up to him. You gotta be the one. You understand? So and how you lost her, you lost her to addiction. Make the easy choice. The easy choice is staying clean. Because that choice comes with absolutely no consequence. The hard choice is going back to drugs. That man, you know, think about something else too. Think about there might have been struggles, but think about how good your life was for those 220 days compared to when you were using. You know how we like to reminisce about how good the drug scene or the alcohol scene was? Try reminiscing about your past recovery and how good that was. Think about it like that. Loss sucks.
Yeah.
Loss is hard for everybody. I've experienced it a lot lately,
Yeah.
past couple years. So I understand. I didn't lose my wife, but I did lose my mother, and she died from the consequences of long-term drug use. She was clean when she died, but it already did its damage. It already took a toll.
And she was
So
young.
yeah, 49. So just think about it. I tell people all the time. I seen one guy, Carl. I think his last name's Frey. He does videos on here all the time, and I seen him do one at the graveyard,
Mm,
and that was some real ass shit because
I need to look for that.
a lot of people get turned off by the doom and gloom, but sometimes you got to get punched in your fucking face to wake up.
Yeah. Do you remember? I'm assuming you did it. I don't know if we did it together or not, but at Witsit, Katrina did a lesson, I guess you would call it. And she had us basically like we did this exercise where we had to envision our funeral, and we had to envision every
You remember
person.
I wrote about it?
Did you?
You
You
remember I
have to
wrote
say.
that poem?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I thought so. Um, that was hard for me. That was really hard for me. Because I had never really, I guess, thought it out that far. You know what I mean? Um, and I've been to more funerals than I would like to of people that have overdosed and died, and it doesn't get easier. It never gets easier. I've lost best friends to it. And it it literally like plays in your mind, for me it does anyway. Like even with your mom, I can literally remember like every single thing that was said that day to me, every person that was there that day, what everybody had on. I remember every hug from every person that walked up. It just I try not to think about it because it's easier not to, but like on Wednesdays it hits me. Like I like out of the blue, I'll just be in tears and I'll just replay it in my mind. Um, so
Yeah, and
yeah.
if you need something, Paul, just reach out to me via messenger. If you got something you need to say that you don't really want to say on here, just hit me up.
Joe's a
Start by
good
getting
one. You know.
start by getting clean first, whatever it takes. If you got to go to rehab, if you got somebody that you know can take your son for 30 days, go get your shit together. He needs you. You need you. There's
Or
probably
deeper.
people you haven't even there's people you haven't even met yet that need you. You just don't know it.
Yeah,
You haven't
that's good.
you don't know. Something I saw I want to get to. Okay, so Laura said the topic at the meeting today is choices and decisions. I absolutely love that. That's one of my favorite topics ever. Um, and it's because, like I said, I hate fucking debates. You know, we can debate whether it's a disease or a choice all day. At the bottom line, you're choosing to do something. Your choices have consequence. Just like if you make a good choice, there's a reward. If you make a bad choice, there's a punishment. And it's an addiction, flat and simple. If we really want to get to the bottom of it, just like you're addicted to coffee, just like you're addicted to Red Bull, just like you're addicted to cigarettes, it's the same fucking thing. You ever seen somebody try to quit cigarettes? They lose their fucking mind. It's the same thing. Um, we're habitual creatures. Once you start a habit, it's hard to kick, no matter what it is. So I always say the only difference between nicotine and caffeine addicts and drug and alcohol addicts is the type of people they become.
Right.
You're not gonna smoke cigarettes and drink a cup of coffee and go rob the store or rob somebody you know. You're not gonna drink a cup of coffee and smoke a cigarette and uh, put your hands on one of your friends or black out and crash your car and kill somebody or overdose. You know what I'm saying? So, but to kick that habit, it's just like kicking any other habit. If you want to kick a habit, you got to keep working at it. You got to be disciplined. You got to be persistent. You can't let nothing get in your way about what you're trying to do. And ultimately, you have to make a choice. You see a lot of people that want to quit cigarettes, but at the core of it, they don't really want to quit cigarettes. They just saying it because they know it's bad for them. There's a lot of people that are on drugs and alcoholics that are like that. They're just saying it because they know it's bad for them and they know it's fucking their life up and making their life difficult. But at the core, in their heart, they don't really want to let go. Um, and I fought with that for fucking years. That was the main thing that kept me drinking for so long was because I didn't want to let go of it. I didn't want to face the fact that I didn't have control over something. So just try to keep that in mind.
Um, Mary, I know that they do some. I know they do some in this group. Um, I mean, that's kind of what Joe and I are doing now, but it's not as structured. But I know that there's like I've seen a couple times where they literally like do all the steps they do at the meetings when you go to meetings. You just kind of have to find them. And what I would do maybe is when you're done watching this video, you can always make a post in the group asking if anybody does live meetings, and then you can find out like who you can follow and stuff so you can catch their meetings too. And I posted the link to our YouTube channel. If you need a meeting, we have tons of videos on there. There's probably close to like 40 videos in there. Mm.
Well, Paul, it sounds to me like you got your work cut out for you, and you know, given your cancer situation, I think drugs is probably the last thing you need to be doing, unless it's something medical that's not a narcotic or opiate. I'll just say that. Um, I don't really know what to say. I can't. I'm not gonna gloss over it because it's a big deal. But you gotta make a choice, man.
Yeah.
I always say, like, you're not dead until you're dead, and every day you have a chance to do something different. Every day you wake up, you can do something different.
Mm.
Instead
Yeah,
of
you
thinking
could.
about
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to tell Mary Misty posted a link in therooms.com for the live meetings.
I like what Maureen says too about relapse. If you learn from your relapse, there's so much that you can get out of it. Because that's what happened for me. When I relapsed, I got a lot out of it, and I've hit the ground running ever since. Not saying I won't ever trip again, but I picked up from it. I learned from it, and that's what's most important. And I always tell people, if you do relapse, don't use it as an excuse to go on a run or a binge. Just fucking dust yourself off the next day. It's 10 times easier if you restart the very next day instead of waiting around.
And this may be harsh, but don't use her death as an excuse to stay in active addiction. When Joe's mom passed away, she was in a recovery house, and there was a lot of girls. Well, there was, I guess there was three girls, must have been four girls in there at the time. One of them left the day that she died, and she said she couldn't take this, and she left. And the other three all relapsed. And one of them I think is doing okay now. One of them I just literally read yesterday on Facebook that she had been arrested and charged with new charges related to her addiction. And the third one is like coming up on 6 months clean now, I think. So 2 of the 3 are doing better that I know. 2 of the 4 are doing better that I know of. And then there's some other women that were not necessarily a part of the house, but a part of her recovery community. And one of them celebrated 1 year clean on Monday, and another one celebrated 2 years clean last night.
Yeah, choices and decisions, right?
Yeah.
You can go right or you can go left. It's up to you.
Make a decision to use her death to fuel your motivation, to inspire you, not to put you down. Don't let it hold you down. She wouldn't want that for you. I mean, I don't know her, but I'm almost certain she wouldn't want that for you. So.
And learn from her mistakes and your mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like for my mom, seeing that she got clean and she still died, it was like, I can't waste no fucking time. I gotta get my body right now. I gotta start. I just turned 30. I don't have no more time to waste on that shit.
Yeah.
I don't have time to walk around with yellow eyes and fucking a sore liver and shit. I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Mouth all ate up because, burning and shit from throwing up stomach acid. I don't got time for that shit. You know what I mean? I got kids. You know what I'm saying? I got shit I want to accomplish for myself. I want to live. And that's why I like what Carl did, what Carl's been doing on his videos. He's pretty much throwing it in your face that, if you stay out there, your fate is in that graveyard.
If you see that graveyard video, tag me and I want to watch that.
I'll see if I can find it. It's on here somewhere. It's on this page somewhere. But he's active and he puts a lot of videos on here. So
is he one of the admins? I feel like he's one of the admins.
Nah, I don't think so.
Or maybe somebody else.
I don't think so.
A lot of videos.
He does a lot of he does a lot of like guest appearances and shit on his videos. So
okay.
And he posts a lot. He posts like I've seen him do quite a few videos in one day. So he's busy on here. And he's got a pretty good following as well. So if you need somebody else to pay attention to when he posts a video, watch his videos.
If you're comfortable, I would suggest reaching out to Joe. I actually met Joe when I was in treatment almost 9 years ago, and Joe really helped me like wrap my mind around what I needed to do. And who would have known that 9 years later this is what we would be doing together? Because I certainly did not foresee this by any means.
Yeah, no, it's funny. it's funny because when we was in rehab together, a lot of people looked at me like a mentor, and I kept fucking up when I got out. Jewel didn't.
I didn't know, and I didn't know that you were either. I never knew. Even when I came to the house the first day, I didn't realize, and it took me a long time to realize that even after that, that you had a real problem with alcohol. Like I just thought he just parties and gets DUIs. Like it's just a bad luck. You know what I mean? I didn't realize.
Yeah, it's because it's progressive, and I always talk about hitting that reset button and getting some clean and sober time, and then thinking you can go back out there and it'll be different. Like
Right.
I always said, it might be fun the first time, the second time, it might last. The honeymoon might last for a little while, might last for a month, couple months, but eventually it ends up the same exact fucking way.
Right.
New charges, fucked up relationships, violence, anger, sadness, all the same.
Yeah. I know that there's nothing out there for me. I know that there's nothing in the streets that I need or want. I know that picking up would literally ruin everything that I've worked for the last 9 years. These are just kind of things that, like, I don't generally have urges now I think because it's been so long, but on occasion they come up. But these are the things that I tell myself. There's nothing in the streets for me. There's nothing that any drug is going to do to fix my problems. There's nothing in this world that would make me want to redo this last 9 years. I'm a baby, so dope sick was not a fun thing for me. Withdrawal was not fun. Detox was not fun. I'm not reliving that shit for nothing. You couldn't pay me to relive that shit now.
I just don't want to deal with the shame. Like I said, like um I come on here so I feel accountable. I feel like I gotta be responsible for everybody that watches me.
Yeah.
So I got two kids now. Just had my second daughter. So I got eyes on me that I can't let down. And
I can't wait to love her.
the best way to be a parent is to set by example, not by words.
Yeah. Yeah, because that whole do as I say, not as I do thing never works.
All
Not for
right,
me
so I
anyway.
didn't I didn't say your name last time when we did a video and you was on here because I didn't know if I was gonna fuck it up. But your name's Ambi, Ambie. Ambi, is that how it's pronounced? You're late to the party. You're gonna have to catch the replay because we about to end it because I gotta work out and get back uh to the kids.
Look at this, Joe. I want to show you something that I found. Are you ready?
Good, I got it right. I swore I was gonna butcher your name. Look at that punk.
I was looking for a bookmark and I saw this on the floor and I picked it up. When I picked it up, this was the picture and I was like, does he look like me?
Yeah,
Little brat.
Russell looked like you too until now. He's starting to look like Josh now.
Because when they're babies, they look like me, and as they grow up, they look like their father. Ugh. Somebody asked me about Matthew's red hair. I was like, that's why we keep it short so you can't see it. Okay.
We're talking about. We never just talk about one thing for whatever reason. We get sidetracked easily. But
Well, because that's how it's supposed to go.
the topic was spiritual awakenings, and
Hmm.
I spoke about the tier. God's up here, spirituality's next, and then energy. And I like to start at the ground and stay at the ground, and work on what I can do, which is like put good energy out there and just worry about how I carry myself. Um, I said before I don't like to alienate people. There may be people who do not believe in God, so out of respect for the audience, I try not to talk too much about it. Even though, like I said, I do believe in a creator. I
Yeah.
am spiritual, but I like to focus primarily on energy because everybody can relate and it works for everyone. If you've never tried it, you don't know, try it. It works. Um, the old saying that cliches are cliches for a reason. You get what you give. You put out good energy will come back to you. So That's just how I feel about it.
I
And
think I've been putting out a forced energy, which is why I'm not getting anywhere.
yeah, and if you put out good energy, you also become like if you're always being positive, you start to become a positive person. And when you get thrown some bad energy, you also know how to handle it. You know what I'm saying? You can dismiss bad energy just by not letting it bother you because you became such a positive person. Um, and I find myself all the time, you know, reverting back to my old ways sometimes where I can get irritated or I feel that old asshole creeping back in and I just kill it. You know what I'm saying? I kill it as quick as possible. It doesn't do me any good and it damn sure doesn't do anybody around me any good. So
Mm-mm. And I've been like irritated most of the week. I need to. Now, this morning I woke up and I decided that I was gonna, this isn't necessarily energy, but when I got up this morning, I've decided that I was gonna be intentional about everything I did today. So, like this morning, I got up and I did a whole bunch of my business work at home. I worked on things for the upcoming event. I worked on things for one of my clients. I did a whole bunch of intentional work. And then I was going to go live, whether you said anything or not. And then when you said about going, I was like, okay, good. I can get this, do this. And I think my problem is I've literally been trying to force things to go my way this week. And it's literally all it's doing is annoying the shit out of me because I've literally every day just been so irritated that I can't stand myself. So tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and I'm not gonna be irritated. I'm not gonna force anything. Things are
it
gonna be
sounds,
what they're gonna be.
it sounds like you
Yeah.
need some like stimulation, like some positive, not like that, but like some positive stimulation. Like you need to wake up different.
Yeah. Well, and that's true too because Monday and Tuesday I overslept both days. Okay. Matthew missed the bus both days. And that literally just started me off on the wrong foot. You know what I mean? So this morning when the alarm went off, instead of snoozing it, I just got the hell up and said, okay, I'm going to be intentional today. So I think I'm on the right track. Um, I don't know what just kind of threw me off these last couple days. I don't know if it's the sunburn or life in general or what. So yeah,
Look
and
at
I can.
Andy.
You're absolutely right because even I don't think it was yesterday, but Monday I tried to restart my day, but I didn't actually like restart it. Like I was just like, okay, I'm done being irritated, and that didn't work. So my grandmother is really funny because she is in her 70s, I guess, and she'll watch. She's a big ball fan. She likes to watch the Dodgers play, and if the Dodgers are losing, okay, she will literally stand up and turn around. She says, "Okay, I've turned the game around. Now they're gonna win." And literally, like 9 times out of 10, when she does it, they come back and win. So I'm gonna start. That's how I'm gonna start restarting my day. I'm gonna get up and turn around and go on about my day.
Good luck.
See, this is why I love doing these videos because we get on here and we talk about things, and like you made the comment about we ramble off topic, but to me, we're not ever really off topic. Like we start with whatever the topic may be, and then the universe pulls us to talk about what needs to be said for those that are on. And like Ambi saying about restarting your day, that I can do that at any time. Well, duh, but I never thought about it until you said it just now. I could have done that yesterday easily or
Yeah, you were
Monday.
late to the party, but you got here. You're on point. I like what you're saying.
Yeah.
Trust
So,
God, do good. It's a good blanket. I mean, I feel like like how I interpret that is put the trust in God that if you do everything the way you should, that everything will go the way it's supposed to. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about everything, honestly. And if you feel like you're not getting something the way you want it, then go back to the drawing board and do it differently. You're in control of a lot of things.
yeah.
And it's like I tell people all the time, you know, it's like just because you had a bad past or it doesn't mean it's too late for you and you can't do what you want to do.
You know what's probably irritating me, Joe? You know what probably is the root of it?
What?
That I can't love on Riley. That's probably what it is.
Man, look at Jewel, y'all being dismissive, putting the blame on somebody else instead of her.
Oh, I can't wait to love on her, Joe. I'm literally like counting the days down till you guys come. Johnson and I were talking about it last night. He's like, I've really been trying not to think about it because when I think about it, it makes me upset or sad or whatever. He was like, but I just can't wait for them to get here. And I was like, no, I just told Shara the other day. I was like, okay, guys, you've been in Texas for 30 days, thinking to myself, okay, this 1 month down, 11 to go.
Right. I'm enjoying myself. I like it out here for the most part. And when you got a house with 3 kids in it, you don't have time to think about missing nobody. I got
I
like
feel
I've been going to bed at like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I don't stay up late at all anymore, at all. And I'm up by
well,
7
you were up
every
last night and read my message and still didn't read it right.
because I was about to pass out. I was forcing myself. I was trying to stay up because I was finishing my show. I don't know if any of y'all watch Netflix, but The Rain, that's a dope show. And they just put the new season on there. So I was trying to finish it last night and I did. And it was pretty good.
The whole
It was
season?
I mean, I didn't watch it all in one night, no, but I finished it. Yeah. I watched the last episode last night.
Okay. Well, I think that's it. Um, like I said, I shared the YouTube channel for anybody that wants to subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it. Just about all of our videos are on there. And I've been adding our new ones that we've been doing as well. Also, for anybody that may be interested, we're selling t-shirts for a local nonprofit that we're supporting this year called Midshore Restoring Hope in Women. And what they do is they help fund women into recovery housing. So for my next event that we're having in Chestertown in Maryland, for anybody that might be local to Maryland, it's called Breaking the Chains. And we're selling t-shirts that say Breaking the Chains on the front. And then on the back, they say In Loving Memory of Wendy Hewitt, which is Joe's mom. You can change the name for your loved one or you can take it off. Either one is fine. So all t-shirt sale profits go towards Midshore Restoring Hope in Women for anybody who might be interested.
And for my closer, I would like to apologize to my wife because she made me feel bad because she said something nice about me. She thanked me for all my hard work today with the kids. And
When you were
she was,
listening about her texting you during the video.
yeah.
uh,
So, and I'm sure she's going to watch this back. So I'm going to get that out the way now. All right, y'all.
all right, guys, have a good day. We're gonna try and go live tomorrow or Friday.
Tomorrow's
Tomorrow?
a tomorrow's a no go. We'll go Friday.
Oh, okay. All right. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you Friday. Have a good day.
All right, y'all.